So we have a couple questions we're going to do. The first one is, Susie has a rectangular dining room with the dimensions below. It's 12 by 7. And what is the largest area of a circular rug that Susie can fit in her dining room there? So if I sketched out a circle, it would look like this. So let me actually insert a picture. So we know if the circle's touching the edges of both sides, that if I could draw a straight line, that's the diameter, and the diameter would be 7 feet right here. But the formula for area of a circle is going to be pi r squared, and we want the radius. The radius is, of course, halfway across the center of the circle. So 7 divided by 2 is going to be 3.5. And now we have everything that we need to put into the calculator. If it doesn't tell you to use 3.14 for pi, don't use 3.14 for pi and actually use pi when you put it into the calculator, because that will impact the final answer. And for me, 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I prefer to put in decimals versus fractions when dealing with any kind of calculation. It's just easier for me to put in the calculator. And also because if you're kind of careless and you type in 7 divided by 2 squared like this, you're going to get 7 over 4 or 1.75, which we don't want to do. So that's why I have the 3.5 in there. You would have to do 7 squared over 2 squared. But 3.5 squared times pi is about 38.48. Now I would argue, outside of the measurement error that we might have for just being us, it might not be exactly 7 feet by 12 feet. But they're going to want to round to the 1 decimal place. So for this one, it would be 38.5, even though I would argue that 38.5 wouldn't fit. But we're going to go with what they said there. And if you asked, obviously it would be, I should say, feet squared, because they don't give you the units for this one. For the next question, we have Sandy wants to carpet her game room. Looks like the shape below. We've got a semicircle, half of a circle. The diameter is 10 feet long. So all the way across here would be 10. So that means when we cut this in half, that's going to be 5, and that's also the radius. So we have two shapes we see here. The first one is we see our triangle, and we're going to add that to the area of half of a circle. Well, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, 1/2 BH, and we have the height, which is 5, and the base is 5, so that's going to be easy. That's just going to be 1/2 times 5 times 5, and that's going to be 12.5. And then for the half of a circle, area of a circle is pi r squared, so we're going to have 1/2 times the pi times the radius squared, and the radius is halfway across, which we already identified as 5. 1/2 times 5 squared is 12.5, or 12.5 pi. 5 times 5 is 25, times a half is 12.5. And that's going to give us about 39.2699, or I'm just going to say 39.27. 39.27 plus 12.5 gives us 51.77 feet squared, and tells us that carpet is only sold in whole number quantities. So no matter what this number would be right here, we would have to round up. So if we got 51.4, we would still have to make it 52 for this type of question. So 52 square feet is what we need. If you have any kind of questions, go ahead and contact your math teacher.